Congress Vice President Rahul Gandhi has put out a video message asking voters in Punjab and Goa to come out and vote. Let's listen to what the Congress Vice President says.
सत श्री अकाल भाइयों और बहनों, राजनीति में मैं एक बात सीखा हूं, सच्चाई को कभी छुपाया नहीं जा सकता है। 2012 में मैं पंजाब यूनिवर्सिटी के एक प्रोग्राम में गया था और वहां मैंने युवाओं को कहा कि 70% पंजाब के 70% युवाओं को नशे की प्रॉब्लम है, ड्रग की प्रॉब्लम है। वापस आया दिल्ली और हैरान हुआ जब अकाली दल के नेताओं ने कहा कि राहुल गांधी झूठ बोल रहा है, पंजाब में ड्रग्स की प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, और उन्होंने मेरा मजाक उड़ाया। दुख की बात है कि जो सच 4 साल पहले एक्सेप्ट किया जाना चाहिए था, वो अभी एक्सेप्ट किया जा रहा है। जब हम तिरंगे को देखते हैं, तिरंगे के अंदर पंजाब छुपा हुआ है। हर थाली में, सेना में, बॉर्डर्स पे, इंडस्ट्रीज में पंजाब की आवाज सुनाई देती है, पंजाब का जोश दिखाई देता है। सच्चाई का सबूत अब आपने देख लिया है। पंजाब की लड़ाई, ड्रग्स के खिलाफ लड़ाई, हम सबकी लड़ाई है, आपकी लड़ाई है। पंजाब को हम गिरने नहीं देंगे। आइए हम सब एक साथ मिलकर पंजाब के लिए लड़ें, नशे को हमेशा के लिए हम पंजाब से मिटा दें। जय हिंद।
Javed, the Prashant Kishore effect, the Jai Hind, the video message put out, Sat Sri Akal. This is not, Rahul Gandhi has not done this in the past.
Yes, the Congress hasn't done it, Rahul hasn't done it, they're learning. I hope it isn't too late in the day for them.
You know, the big thing in this election, Dipankar, is if the Congress can't win Punjab now, where the Akalis are up against 10 years of anti-incumbency, Congress is the primary opposition force, then questions will be asked about whether it's the end of the grand old party. If you can't win Punjab, what will you win?
Yeah, Punjab now with Amrinder Singh as your chief ministerial face, this is the best possible scenario.
So you've got Prashant Kishore, Amrinder Singh, you've got anti-incumbency, you've got Navjot Singh Sidhu, Manpreet Singh Badal, you've got everything.
Yeah, Prashant Kishore's contribution is of a different sort, with all his mass media talents.
It's
he
more
can
election
bring
management.
people to vote. But he won't change minds. But to bring people to vote, that's a very important thing. And that is where street corner plays, skits, social media, they help a lot in keeping the enthusiasm alive. And I think Prashant Kishore's contribution
it is in
just
some
that.
ways, Ashok, reflective of the inability of the Congress to emerge as a credible opposition, that the Aam Aadmi Party has made the kind of inroads it has into Punjab.
That is very true, because when Amrinder lost the 2012 election, he was close to 70 then. It was time for a new generation in the Congress to take over. Frankly, a new generation has not emerged.
Absolutely.
And that is a problem the Congress is facing, not just in Punjab, but in Himachal Pradesh and in many states across India. In Uttarakhand, there's no second generation. If Punjab is not won clean this time, if they don't win a majority, if AAP manages to stop a Congress majority, it will be a significant setback for
No,
Congress.
it's not. You're putting it very mildly, Javed. If they can't win Punjab now, given what all they have going for them, people will ask, what will they ever win? In UP, they're a rump. In Bihar, they're consigned to a very small part in the larger coalition. If you can't win Punjab by yourself, what will the Congress win?
Look, if like Ashok and Dipankar ji was saying, if it was a two-way contest, perhaps there wouldn't be much of a debate. But AAP is a factor that you can't, which is not within the Congress party's control. So therefore, AAP,
Okay, Raninder Singh, Amrinder Singh's son Raninder is with us. He's joining Kamaljeet Sandhu at Lambi. Let's quickly go across. Quickly, yes, Kamaljeet, over to you.
Well, Raninder is the man who's actually taking care of the campaign of Captain Amrinder Singh. While Captain was busy all around, he's the one who's taken charge. But in 2009, he also stood against Harsimrat Badal. He lost that particular. This is the time the revenge will be taken by the Singhs against the Badals. Obviously, Captain coming here and challenging Prakash Singh Badal on a home turf. Do tell us, what is the sense that you're getting around? You're a polling agent and that is how you really allowed here. What is the sense that you've got?
I'm an election agent. My sense is we are winning. It's going to be an emphatic win, and it's going to be a historic win. I think it's a very, very clear mandate that's going to come out in our favor.
But we all know that Aam Aadmi Party is the one which has breached the bastion of Punjab. They have campaigned all along. 69 of the 117 seats are from Malwa. They seem to be doing extremely well. What is the sense that you are getting? Because obviously one is the Congress. You have Maja, Duaba, so it's a big and a bitter fight.
No.
Why do you feel that Congress will do better than Aam Aadmi Party? What is it with the Congress that perhaps people would have in mind? Now remember, this is a trilateral contest.
Well, you got to understand, we have a very, very robust program and manifesto that we've taken to the people. Secondly, it's a question of credibility of leadership. And I think there we score 100 marks out of 100 over the Aam Aadmi Party.
You're saying Aam Aadmi Party is discredited?
Well, where is the leadership? Is Mr. Kejriwal the Chief Minister of Delhi, or is he wanting to be the Chief Minister of Punjab or Haryana?
But he has local candidates. He's spent a lot of time here, but he has local candidates.
So who is his leadership candidate? Has he answered this till now? No.
Even the Congress had announced it at the nth hour. But to tell us, there was a blast which took place in the IED blast in Bhatinda. Would you think there would be some sympathy votes which would go to Congress party because of that? Do you think?
Well, I think it would be wrong for me to comment on such things because these things are matters of national security. We only hope that the perpetrators are caught and fixed.
Your own father at one point of time blamed Arvind Kejriwal for siding with Khalistani, with the extremists. But let me come back to a more important question, which is about how Dera Sacha Sauda has sided with Shumane Kalidar. Is that a worry? Is that a worry for Congress party?
I think it should be a worry for Mr. Kejriwal. Because you know, the maximum inroad he has made in any section, it has been in the division
For Anindar, Kamaljeet, I have a question for Anindar. When we heard his father speak across Punjab, Kamaljeet, do you hear me?
Accusations be damned. I mean, the point of the matter is...
Hold on for a second. Right.
Kamaljeet, I'm saying I have a question for Anindar.
Yes, Rahul,
You know, one of the principal charges the Congress levels against the Akalis is that this is all about the Badal family, that this is dynasty, that this is just about the Badals. Rahul Gandhi says, you know, Guru Nanak used to say, tera, tera, the Badals say, mera, mera. It's about one family, one party. Now, look at the Amrinder family. You've got the sons there, the daughter's been campaigning in Patiala, you've got the granddaughter out campaigning as well. So is this not hypocrisy of the highest order? You charge them with running a political dynasty. What are the Amrinder Singh family itself?
We have a question from Rahul Kaval in the studio, and he's saying that there is a charge against the Badal family of running dynastic politics.
Right.
The same charge can be put against you and your family as well. You've been running for politics. We've seen Parneet Kaur been out there campaigning. She's been a politician. You also got granddaughter, your own daughter, been out there. So is that charge, is not the same charge for you?
Well, you must understand, my daughter is not in politics. She's 21 years old. You know, when there is a wedding in the family, the whole family gangs up and helps out. Similarly, if my daughter is now old enough to go to the people and represent her grandfather and ask for votes in his name and canvas, there's nothing the matter with that, nothing wrong with that. As far as dynastic politics is concerned, there is a difference between a national party's selection of candidature. It's done through a plethora of filters. In a regional...
Captains have also put out...
Kamaljeet, interesting this. The hypocrisy around dynasty. Okay, we're seeing maybe these live pictures from Lambi, I think this is, where the Badal family has just arrived. I recognize the outfit of the commandos. We'll just see once the gates open. These are live images coming in. The Badal family expected to come out to vote. Also, we'll get inputs. Ramesh Vinayak is joining us. Ramesh, this is very, very interesting. As we're seeing these images, the Badal family facing the toughest election that they've ever dealt with. The Panthik vote under stress much more than ever before. The desecration of the Guru Granth Sahib in 2015 leaving a very bitter taste in the minds and mouths of people.
Yes, Rahul, no doubt. You know, this is the toughest election that Badals are facing in Punjab. A very significant portion of Panthik vote, which has been, you know, their power base for many, many years, that has shifted. You know, there has been an erosion of the Panthik base, which is why, this Akali Dal, in a desperate move, in an 11th hour move, enlisted support of Dera Sacha Sauda. That was to basically minimize, the dent of this Aam Aadmi Party in Malwa region. They hope that, they can...
At Vaikal coming out to vote. Now this man has been forced to stay around Lambi. He hasn't been able to campaign across the state like he'd like to because he's been worried. In fact, in some of the vernacular papers, he was quoted as having said that Mera jate jate chaudhala wala hal mat karna. Ramesh.
Yes, Mr. Badal is, has been tied down in Lambi for the first time. Earlier, he used to be Pan-Punjab campaigner, rather campaigner-in-chief for Shromani Akali Dal. This time, we didn't see Mr. Badal venturing out too much for the party candidates because, Lambi has become a very high-stake battle. This is for the first time, Rahul, in the history of Punjab, that we are seeing one incumbent chief minister pitted against an ex-chief minister, which is Captain Amrinder Singh. And also we have this third factor, in Jarnail Singh of...
Just a moment. Prakash Singh Badal, I think, is saying something. Let's listen. Let's just up the audio on those images. Prakash Singh Badal coming out to vote. His entire tabbar, as they say in Punjabi, with him. The family out to vote as well. Let's see if we can get our camera and our mic close enough. Lots of turbans and NSG commandos. And Javed, when they elbow you, if a journalist is coming too close and they elbow you, that elbow can hurt for a long time.
You are telling me I've been at the receiving end on several occasions.
But it's interesting that they're being challenged in their own bastion in a way that they never have. And this really, Ashok Malik, is the AAP effect. If AAP hadn't put up Jarnail Singh and Bhagwant Maan, can I listen to the audio? Then they wouldn't have ever, Captain wouldn't have gone to Lambi, neither would Bittu have been fighting from Jalalabad if the AAP hadn't put up formidable competition. Is it really an attempt being made by the Congress to ensure that it seems that Captain Amrinder Singh and the Congress are the principal opponents and not Bhagwant Maan and Jarnail Singh?
Well, Captain Amrinder Singh's late decision to go to Lambi and take on the senior Badal was probably an attempt to not concede the giant killer mantle, as it were, to Jarnail Singh, who seemed to be doing very well in Lambi. And in fact, in this three-way contest, it may just happen that the Badal, Mr. Badal actually wins because his opposition vote gets divided, which would be a freak result, but it is possible. You were talking about families. Frankly, Jat Sikh politics has been dominated by certain clans.
Sure.
Across parties, the Congress and the Akali Dal. And which is why a mood for change, if it becomes very strong and overpowering, especially among younger voters and non-Jat Sikh voters, would probably end up helping the AAP more than the Congress. Because the Akalis and the Congress sociologically, or rather socially or socio-economically, have very similar leaderships. AAP is different.
But it's also a fact, as a sociologist, Dipankar, and a man who understands Punjab so closely, you would assume that the Sikh identity is so intrinsic to the idea of Punjab that the idea of an outsider party or a party run by a Banya would ever do well in Punjab would be inconceivable. But Aam Aadmi Party has been able to break those stereotypical notions. They're capturing the imagination, suggesting that the idea of socio-economic upliftment is far more important possibly at this stage than the idea of just your religious identity.
No, that's true. And I think many of us who've been using the usual ascriptive categories to determine politics will have to do a double think. It is, in this particular case, I think it's not so much in terms of what Akali Dal has failed to do or has not done, is the voters expecting much more. And this is something we must pay attention to. Voters are expecting more than what the Akali Dal can ever deliver. And it is for this reason that you have a third party like the AAP coming into the fray, because the voters think that this party might do something which we want. It's not that Akali has completely failed in its projects. It's done several things. You mentioned the the temple uplift and the
No, the roads over there,
the roads and everything
electricity.
else. But people want more than that, and that's not what they're getting. They want jobs, they want
No,
agriculture.
is it also a fact, Ramesh Vinayak, that when people see these huge mansions, big, I saw the Badal mansion in Lambi, huge, much bigger than Amrinder's palace, and Amrinder's family used to be Maharaja Patiala. The Badal mansion would be bigger than Amrinder's palace by far. You've got hotels like the Sukh Vilas, you've got bus services, you've got bread in every... Okay, Prakash Singh Badal is speaking. I ask you that question in a moment. Let's listen to Prakash.
Also by the Aam Aadmi Party.
No, you don't remember. I'm fighting for against his challenge many times. Last time in Parliament also he challenged me that if you can, I'm putting my son as candidate in Parliament. If you want, don't put any other candidate but me, from your family. We put her Simrat Kaur, and she won by 1,50,000. And from this constituency, he lost by 40,000.
Sir, at 90, you're fighting an election to much younger candidates, 75-year-old Captain Amrinder. There is Jarnail Singh, who's much younger in his 40s.
I'm younger than both of them in spirits. Old is not age, old is spirit.
But do you agree that the Aam Aadmi Party has been able to breach the bastion of Malwa, able to breach the bastion of Punjab?
Here, people know everything. They don't want to disturb their peace. This party is being supported by all those persons who created so much blood and shed for 15 years. Now everybody realizes what they are, what is their main issue. So they would create problem in the Punjab. So everybody knows this.
Sir, desecration, development, what is the biggest issue? How are you going to the people, sir?
Why desecration is, we have not desecrated anything. See Amrinder Singh's party. Congress invaded Guru Granth Sahib, Akal Takht and every place.
We will be talking to you after you cast your vote.
No, it's all right.
Prakash Singh Badal there, surrounded by the NSG. This is obviously a big day for Badals. They've been challenged at the home turf. You can see a lot of turmoil as far as media is concerned. Everybody wants to talk to him. Everybody wants to speak to him. But yes, Prakash Singh Badal along with the family. Now we'll try and show you, if we can try and show you the shots of the Badal family who've managed to come here. But this is obviously a big day as far as the Badal themselves are concerned. Let me try and see if I can make my way. And let me try and see. Obviously, difficult at this point of time. But here it is. The man who's leading the Shrimani Akali Dal as well as the BJP combined. He's a 5-time Chief Minister. 4 times he stood from Lambi. He's always won. But Captain Amrinder Singh, for the first time, giving him a challenge. And so is Aam Aadmi Party. The other seat, hotly contested, is Jalalabad, where Sukhbir Badal is standing against Bhagwant Mann. This is going to be a crucial make or break for all the 3 parties. Shrimani Akali Dal, we're talking about the Congress Party and the Aam Aadmi Party. With camera person Manoj Sangwan, this is Kamaljeet Sandhu in Bathinda for India Today.
Okay, well done there, Kamaljeet. She's elbowed all the security guards out. She's elbowed the other journalists out and managed to get a bit of an interaction going with Prakash Singh Badal there. He represents an idea and a generation that's passing out in politics. His perception, it can be argued, is generally better than that of his son. And the son is the one who's now running the administration. And he seems to be, you were saying, like an Atal Bihari Vajpayee.
Yes, this is a generation, there's something decent and dignified about him. In all these years that if I can just finish the show, in all these years that I've observed him, there's something very decent and dignified. And sadly, that whole generation is now passing away. There's a transition happening, and that's a very decent transition happening in Punjab, unlike what is happening in my home state of Uttar Pradesh.
But while that is true, and while Prakash Singh Badal is a great speaker, great orator, and one of the grand old men of Indian politics, the tragedy of the Akali Dal really has been that from a party that represented a broad base of Sikh religio-political interest and had a galaxy of leaders from Longowal to Toda to Sujit Singh Barnala, it has gradually become a Badal family party, and that at some stage has hurt it, and that has driven some of the non-Badal Sikh vote, the Panthik vote as we call it, to search for new alternatives, including in AAP.
You see that also in addition to what has been said, the reason why Prakash Badal and Vajpayee look so much better is because I think they believed in their ideology. That ideological conviction was there, whether you may like it or not, but I think they believed in more than what their current generation does. And the case of Akalis, the other thing which we must pay attention to is the relationship between Akali Party and the SGPC is not quite as close as it used to be. And that also leads to the personalization of the Akali Dal Party.
That's interesting. I want final words from Ramesh Vinayak, because one of the other things you touched upon was the Dera Sacha Sauda coming out and supporting the Akali Dal. Now, how much of a difference do you believe in the Malwa area, especially where the Dera is supposed to be strong, can the Dera support for the Akali BJP at this last stage make?
Well, Rahul, this Dera is like a double-edged sword. In Malwa, it may help, Akali Dal get a section of votes, especially in about 27 of 69 Malwa constituency where Dera has a sway. But the important factor is this Dera support to Akali Dal has boomeranged. It has backfired. Look at the number of Sikh organizations in the last 3 days who have kind of, railed against Akali Dal for kind of this Dera deal, because they think that this Dera deal has been struck in violation of an Akal Takht edict of 2007 which had called for boycott of the Dera Sacha Sauda. So this is kind of, I think it may hurt Akali Dal more than it can benefit this party.
Ended there. It's been a fascinating morning this. It's a Saturday morning. I was a little concerned coming up early this morning, but talking about politics, talking about Punjab, talking about an election which really has national ramifications. If it had just been a traditional Akali versus Congress election, so much maybe wouldn't have been at stake. But given the fact that you've got the Aam Aadmi Party there now and no regional party apart from, say, the BJP, the Congress and the CPM have ever ruled more than 2 states at the same time, this potentially has the ability to impact national politics. The AAP already, Shekhar Gupta in his column today argues this election is seeing the emergence of AAP as a national force in politics. So from being leaders of a small state, they're already capturing imagination elsewhere as well. A very, very fascinating contest playing out both in Goa and in Punjab. Thank you very much for joining us. It's time for us to go get some breakfast. Our reporters, of course, will be on the job getting you all the latest, and we'll continue our coverage of the big polling day when we come back on the other side.